This is how you know you're dealing with someone who's sick, toxic, like a lot of people say, and they need help, and you're in a relationship with them. You live next door to your neighbor, right? You and your neighbor are cool, just like you and your relationship, everything's going well. You go over to the neighbor's house, this person does, and destroys their mailbox. For no reason, they just destroy the mailbox, tear it up, take it out the ground, however it's built in. And then the neighbor's like, oh my God, why did you do that? And they're like, I don't know, and I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. And then they come over and they apologize, they even pay for it, and they fix it, right? And they're like, everything should be okay. So the neighbor's like, okay, fine. Then weeks go by, this person comes over to the neighbor's house and destroys their shed, like just sets it on fire and everything in it. And the neighbor's like, why did you do that? We've been great. You've been coming over. We've been having cookouts. We've been going to the games together. You've been coming over with my family, and they don't have any explanation as to why they would do that to their neighbor. The neighbor didn't deserve it at all, right? And so 1,000 apologies later, 1,000 sorries, $1,000, 1,000 ways to make it up, is offered. And they just expect the neighbor just to be okay and not have something on the inside, damage and injuries, and just lack of trust and just almost hate toward this person because they're doing these things for no reason, right? And so again, like there's 1,000 apologies, $1,000, 1,000 ways to fix it, and just, all these type of gestures to try to make it right. But there's no explanation as to why they did it. Then months go by, the neighbor's like, okay, I just don't like this dude, but I'm going to be forgiving, or I don't like this girl, whatever. Then that person comes over and destroys your basketball goal, and this time when it falls over, it hits your kids. Now they're affecting your kids, and they've hurt your children. And at this point, the neighbor hates that person, can't stand them. Every time they think about them, they're cussing them out in their head, and they're telling all the other neighbors about how bad they are and just stay away from this guy. And yet this sick person comes over with all of these apologies, all of these gestures, and they're like, I don't understand, because I said I was sorry. I apologized. And they feel like, if you loved me and if you cared about me, you loved me unconditionally. Outside of this story, me personally, my love is conditional, meaning there are conditions to the access of my love, especially when you continue to, do sick things, and you still operate from an unhealed place. And it's interesting how this is like probably going to be a 3-4 minute, I don't know, clip. And men especially are always coming into the comments, projecting their pain off of a clip and trying to diagnose. So just remember, this is just one way to, look at your relationship. And if it doesn't apply to you and it doesn't resonate, to say, oh, that's not for me. And then there are some people that are like, oh my gosh, that is my relationship. That is how I have been. And at this point, the neighbor is just like, no, you have no more access to me. There are no more apologies. There are no more sorries while you are in this state. And you need to get help because you are sick. You're sick. And anybody that's operating in a relationship like that, they need help. They need to be healed. And it's not okay for them just to come back and think that, okay, after all the injuries and the damage that they've done, that they can just, everything should just be okay. That is like the definition or the, character playbook of a toxic person.